John Krhin.
Good morning, delegates. Good morning, alternates and guests. My name is Dave Racer. I'm a delegate from Woodbury in Senate District 47. I'm honored to place before you the name of John Krhin as a candidate for governor. Now, how many of you are attending your first convention? I can't see you, but put your hands up. Congratulations. Thank you for applauding them. 48 years ago, I went to my first state convention, and we endorsed Al Quie for governor, Rudy Boschwitz and David Durenberger for U.S. Senate, and they were all pro-life, and they all won. Today, some in our party want to keep moral issues and the sanctity of life on the back burner. They say we should focus on budgets, roads, and winnable issues instead. But without the protection of human life, there are no budgets to balance, there are no roads to build, and no future to govern. Without moral virtue, we have fraud, lawlessness, and endless budgets. For years, political pragmatists have urged us to avoid confrontation, to soften our language, and to chase the middle. That strategy has failed to elect a Republican governor since 2006. It has not motivated the voters we need, and it has not stopped the moral and cultural decline we see all around us. John Krhin is not the most famous name in the race. He doesn't come with a long political resume or a well-funded machine, but he brings something far more important: the courage to put moral truth first. John Krhin agrees with our second president, John Adams, that our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. John understands that if we lose the moral foundation, the rest of the structure will eventually collapse. He's willing to say what others in this party have been afraid to say out loud. All of our Republican candidates are good and decent people. All can faithfully execute the laws of our state. We have the best candidates. But only one has made the defense of life and restoration of moral order the central purpose of his campaign, and that candidate is John Krhin. Delegates, we have a choice. We can play it safe and hope the political winds eventually shift in our favor, or we can take a risk on a man who is willing to fight for the soul of Minnesota. The time for playing it safe has passed. If you believe that God still governs in the affairs of man, if you believe that our state cannot be saved by better management alone, if you are ready to stand for moral truth, even when it's unpopular, then endorse John Krhin for governor of Minnesota. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alexander Hochuk, and I'm an alternate delegate from Senate District 33, representing the Scandia, Marina, and St. Croix area. It is incredible to see so many passionate people in this room today, but looking around, I have to ask, how many of you are here under the age of 21? It is incredible. To the young people in this room and across Minnesota, the stakes could not be higher. My generation is deeply concerned about our future. We see broken families, lost teens and young adults, hatred towards America, and a vacant desire for the American dream in following Jesus Christ. We are watching a rapid moral collapse in our state, where the Twin Cities feel more like Sodom and Gomorrah than the heart of a great state. We have no future if we do not courageously rebuild our moral foundations. Months ago, we were all shaken by the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I had the honor of speaking at one of his memorials where we rallied around for his fearless faith in Jesus Christ. Charlie's legacy reminded us that we cannot sit on the sidelines. Hundreds of thousands of us are rising up, refusing to stay silent and stepping into the fight. But we cannot do it alone. We need adult champions. We need role models who fear God, speak the truth unapologetically, and will fiercely protect the future of America's youth. Protecting the youth is protecting the future of our country in this great state of Minnesota. That leader is my great uncle, and he truly is a great uncle, my Uncle John Krhin. For the sake of our faith, our freedom, and our future, please endorse John Krhin as the next governor of Minnesota. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Julie Krhin, John's wife. I'm a state delegate from Senate District 8. I rise to second the nomination of my husband, John Krhin, as governor of Minnesota. I've known John for 56 years, 53 of them as his wife. I've served alongside John as he ministered the gospel in over 10 different churches during the last 50 years. While pastoring, he's taken on outside work to provide for our growing family. He's operated heavy equipment in the mines, driven school buses, over-the-road trucks, semis, done masonry, carpentry work, and operated 2 small businesses. He understands the challenge of working people. John is a man of God and a man of the people. God blessed us with 8 children, 30 grandchildren, and now 4 great-grandchildren. We know the challenges of family life. We need a governor who speaks for families. John is a builder. He has built our own homes and churches. He has helped people build their lives on the foundation of Christ. While we are currently building another home, we also own a 100-year-old business property in Hibbing, Minnesota that we've renovated. It houses a church, a cafe, and residential apartments. John and I know the value of families working together. Families building strong churches and communities are the backbone of our state. We are team builders. This will serve him well as governor. I am asking you to endorse my husband, John Krhin, for governor of Minnesota. He will serve you and restore government to the hard-working people of Minnesota. Please welcome my husband, John Krhin, Minnesota's next governor.
Thank you. You didn't cue my page, honey. Wake up, Minnesota. Wake up, Minnesota. That's been the cry of my heart since the day that God called me to run for governor of Minnesota, the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. If you haven't read We Are Minnesota, Common Sense for Minnesota, or my 10 Promises, I encourage you to do that before you cast your vote today. For over 60 years, Minnesota and Minnesota Republicans have wavered between 2 opinions. God is active in the affairs of our state, or he is not. It's time to choose. Sadly, we've succumbed to the woke culture and the so-called Great Society set forth by Democrat Lyndon Johnson. In the process, Minnesota has degenerated into perhaps the most progressive and socialistic state of the Union. That has to change. Wake up, Minnesota. Wake up, Minnesota Republicans. For over 20 years, we've not won statewide offices. Why? Because we've tried to win with human wisdom and strategies. We failed to accept what our founders knew, that God rules in the affairs of men. According to Psalm 2, in addition to that, Christ is king. Our founders knew that. According to Psalm 2, God laughs at the lie that we must keep God out of politics and government, but let's be honest with each other. The problems we have in Minnesota are the result of moral, cultural, and spiritual failure. Yes, we're killing unborn babies. We have runaway budgets. We're experiencing fraud. Yes, parents are told, quit interfering with government schools. Yes, we refuse to enforce our laws. But at the root of it is moral failure. We have even experienced outright tyranny under the Walz administration. We're the state that tolerated billions of dollars of fraud and would do nothing about it until federal officials stepped in. But that fraud is worse than most of us have heard. I want you to get your hands today on this article that I'm releasing at the convention. A limited number are available, but you can find it on my website as well. You'll see how DFL leaders have done nothing as our state commits fraud against the federal government. I'm demanding a full federal audit of medical provider payments back at least 25 years, and our investigation is showing it may amount to $40 billion. This fraud is in disregard for you, for we the people. And that's why our founders rebelled. They had a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, pledging their lives, their fortunes, and their honor. Will we allow their sacrifice to be in vain? Have we forgotten the common words of Thomas Paine, who stated, "A long habit of thinking a thing wrong gives it a superficial appearance of being right"? Our founders acted, and so must we. I say again, wake up, Minnesotan Republicans. Many of us who have labored for Christ since the 1960s have recognized that a modern Great Awakening has been building in this country since the Jesus movement swept across America. It's increasingly intensity today, as we saw on national television during Charlie Kirk's memorial. But Minnesota has been behind the curve. We're the state that would not embrace the shining city on a hill resurrected and proclaimed by Ronald Reagan. And we've devolved further into wokeness and moral decay. 3 times we failed to follow Donald Trump to victory. But that's changing. As I've visited Republican events since December, I've witnessed a stirring, a rattling of bones, reminiscent of those seen by the prophet Ezekiel. A new generation of Minnesota Republicans here today is leading the cry with me, "Wake up, Minnesota!" Yes, a spiritual awakening is spreading through the state, and now is the time for all Republicans to hear that cry, carry the message across Minnesota, building our Republican base, bringing in the Reagan Democrats and those who embrace Christian values. We must convince MAGA Republicans to vote down ballot for statewide offices and motivate those 1.5 million non-voting Minnesotans to get to the polls. This is how we will defeat the feckless Democrats, whose failures continue to destroy our state every day that they are in control. We will win by winning Minnesotans. Borrowing from President Trump's campaign, "Too big to rig." Governor Walz is already defeated. Amy Klobuchar is next. As you endorse a candidate, a vote for me is a vote for you. As your governor, I'll lead the charge to restore constitutional government for Minnesotans. I'll use this bully pulpit to push all the things that I'm standing for and that you read in my literature. I ask you today, do you hear the call? My call is clear, our path is clear. Will you follow me? Awake, thou that sleepest. Arise from the dead. Christ will give you light. We the people derive our rights from God. By God's grace, I will lead this charge and do my best to lead Minnesota by God's light. Please prayerfully cast your vote for the nomination of John Krhin. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. God bless the great state of Minnesota.